منور يا الأول. حبيب قلبي والله يا الحربي. منورين منورين. عليكم السلام والرحمة. عليكم السلام. اللي موجود يا شباب وناوي يلعب معاي هذا رقم البارتي. عليكم السلام ورحمة. يا شباب اللي بيدخلوا يلعب معاي الآن رجاء لا تجوا كلكم يمي. مسيطر على السيرفر ثم نوزع سكور. كلكم تجوا يمي وانا ما عندي سكور، ترى صعب نسيطر والله. نفس قبل 3 ساعات لعبنا ولا سيطرنا، والسبب ان كلنا جنب بعض. يعني عندي سكور مثلا 100 200 اعطيك ايش اللي اعطيك، حتى لو كان عندي 1000 سكور ايش اللي اعطيك، وعندي تيم. فبلاها اذا سيطرنا حياكم ماكو مشكلة. شغال البث ولا مو شغال يا عيال؟ انا اشوفه شغال لان هذا الشباب يدخلوا معي على البارتي. موجود معكم يا سلطان موجود. هذا رقم البارتي يا شباب، اللي يبي يصور افضل. طبعا اعتذر منكم، اول ما ادخل الجيم راح اشيل الاشعارات مالين اليوتيوب. I stood barefoot on the cross of the church. Cold gusts of winds blow through the holes in my shirt. The city around, surrounded by one big wall, except the point where the hill tried to build, but it was just too tall. On the top of the hill, well, there grew one tree, and the cross of the church was as high as the peaks. My limbs shiver as I'm trying. يلا راح اطفي الاشعارات يا شباب، السموحة منكم اوكي؟ راح اطفي اشعارات يا الحربي. It showed all different sides of me. My heart left quietly. I woke up with a resurrected peace, and out of a heli brick grew a cypress tree. The snake eyes came alive in the dicey squeeze. Dropped him down to the floor, turned him ice and screamed. He tried to stomp him to death, but it just wouldn't bleed. He heard a concoct left. Turn to look what he see. Cowboy shot an Indian in his face, but it stayed in one piece. The cowboy dropped down to his knees. The Indian scalped his body and turned into a beast. The forest grows and it swallows the streets. We're back to hunting in the gathering of all that we eat. The sons of distant memory, we live in darkness and sleep. And I'm walking through the garden with me, but when I fall, it is all just a dream. I am calling up the wall. كأنه في لاج يا شباب. هلا أنا أبو الزو. as the day goes. It ain't all angels and halos. Soon as the night falls, I'll be back on my angle. One black crow lands on the dining room table. Beckons the last souls to do the dance of the fatal. Here's a chant for the fable, stamped on the hands that made you. This would happen to the dream that came. You be the son to the one who named you. Don't be dumb like no one raised you. It took the world just to pull the baby out the girl, and all the smoke has the same old swirl. You were born in the same old curl. Don't be playing like the story ain't pearls. Story, of course. Lose the glory and you bury the corpse. And by the end, I'll be blurry and hoarse. Till then, I am purely a force in a lab with a bag and a torch. The nights are far, but the days are heat. Find myself all alone in the lone wolf makes a beat, and let the black king bleed while I write my piece. And there's story to be told in the eyes of me. Too tired to sleep. I set fire to every liar I see. Crawling a wire, couldn't find him a tree. All he found was a pile of weed. Got high and decided to eat. Know I always got some fire with me. Still a child in the wild with beasts. Who made a style from the Nile and grief. For freestyles till he's silent in peace. Spin the spiral back to find a release. Know I smile now, I'm crying to sleep. Nowadays I'm just trying to breathe. In a world where the scoundrel's king and the kids are just a mouth to feed. It's past hope, we need alchemy. If you remain strong, there's no day that the faith is gone.
عندي لاقي شوية يا شباب معليش.
Shit, I may be wrong, but either way I'm just pasting on. Became a king as I made my songs. Came from God, but the devil's is the same as all. The only difference is the ways we fall. Read the book and then I made the call, and I ain't really have to thank it all. Thoughts sank and I blazed and coughed. Now I pray to cross the river waist high, ready to fall. But my brother's there to grab on my arm. I had a dream, I never met him at all. Woke up staring at the mirror on the wall. So clear what I saw was a mirror, he was here all along. Shed a tear for the fear that was gone and said I'm here, now you hearing the song. I was born by the beach, water around my bones. First heartbeat became the 808 tone. Speech came later, gets later as I grow. Peace to the haters and a prayer for my foes. Love to my family and my family keeps growing. Death to the vanity, cause damn it we go. Turned into rust and then into dust. Carved in ebony with an elephant tusk. All the world's a stage, see the roles and names.
خليها اللعب.
Playing out the game, I know I'm just the same. Desire is the flame.
يا ويل حالي.
Fire and I'm tired of my ways. Open up the blinds, hang it in my eyes. Windows are closed, open up to life. See a tree grow, tree grows inside. See a body rock, I'm reminded of my time. Stories I ain't told, still hit it in my mind. Watch it unfold like treasure that I find. See a tree grows inside. See a body rock, I'm reminded of my time.
يا أخي أحب هالمغني هذا هالراب ذا بطل. لو يفك اللاج.
My hands and my feet building buildings in stone. Face to the sky with a breeze through my hair. Friends that are gone, I'll find you right here. I don't look to dirt when I know you're in the air. Not another fool thinks life should be fair. God's a referee with a whistle in his mouth. He blows every time there's a foul time out. Stuck in that trap, will his tummy climbed out. Busting up my gas, first and others in my mouth. Down hip hop in the temple of my room. Every day I build water, simple turn the rooms. Standing on the brick that used to be your tomb. Pouring out a drop from the bottle of my booze. Used to be dark, grew into a plant. Once was an animal, now I'm just a man. Dream still intangible, heart up in my hands. This will be the life where the darkness in my head. Used to be dark, grew into a plant. Once was an animal, now I'm just a man. Dream still intangible, heart up in my hands. This will be the life where the darkness in my head.
أحد يدبل لي. واحد يا شباب، واحد بس لين نسيطر بس. أوب 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 أوب. عنده فيل ذا ابن الذين.
Skin the color of bark, clothes smelling like trees, digging my earth from my roots and weeds. My truth bleeds right back in the arm. No scar, but I left my mark. My friend got clean, then no deed. Life is just that dark. Clothes smelling like trees, digging my earth from my roots and weeds. My truth bleeds right back in the arm. No scar, but I left my mark. My friend got clean, then no deed. Life is just that dark. But life is just that bright that when the sunset shines, I've seen the graph these rights. I'm back tonight with a sack to light. In honor of
عوافي يا عيال عوافي.
wide over with no glass of wine. Stuck in the barrel, I'll get better with time. While you measure how the pleasure declines, I'm stacking cheddar while the bread just rise. With my eyes and my ears glued here on my grind, cutty. Creeping on the come up. Sleeping till the sun's up. Telling secrets to the drum thumbs. Pledge allegiance to the blood pump. Until I leak my last leader, here's my one love. And all these angels got their guns up. But no fear when my teeth and my tongue touch. I am here and I speak for the young bloods. See the blood and they drug all their anchors up. Set sail through the world in the name of trust. Hard work and the crux that it made it us. I'm about to bust on my veins full of gold dust. The 1985 California gold rush. In the spine plus the flesh that it holds up. I'm out for mines and my wolves got it sewn up. One crow, one eagle on my shoulders. And my eyes hold the light that approaches.
يعني يشوفني رايح فيه المفروض يدبل لي، جالس يطالع فيني.
Grizzly is back, the California bear of rap. Been asleep in the den, now my eyes are cracked. Belly full of hunger with a diamond back. And hear the crack of the thunder under my attack. Man in nature, trying to come up on some land and paper. Say the end is near, I still want some acres. Make the best of the time that we left to stay here. Hear the bastard that turned prince. Heading to the castle, they kneeled at my service. Told them rise up, follow on your purpose. Once stood still about
لا يا هاي،
better smile for you die, dummy. Mean mug.
أنا بنتحر فيك.
Live lovely, make money, build something. Catch snakes in my garden before they take from me. Behind the black gray clouds, the sun shines cold. You wouldn't know when the day is the color of cold, but it always shines. Rather always know that I always rhyme when I write my poems to remind myself of the tie that binds us all. Look into the eyes of my love and fall. Stop talking what I hate, the way I paint and draw. Still a big question mark with a name to call. So I stay on a search while the earth revolves to find a purpose for the journey, make it worth it all. More than lucky wasn't born to money, but I've been rich since the day that my blood started pumping. More than nothing, I got a heart still bleeding. Searching, walking through the streeting, looking for it all with my blood still leaking on the pages. I'm telling you the story of my days. Hey, let's just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. That's the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine.
نزل فايروس يا ليل.
I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. That's the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. Going down a forest, built up a city, born out of LA, cursed by a city. Read 1,000 books and I still feel silly. War outside and I'm at home chilling. Going down a forest, built up a city, born out of LA, cursed by a city. Read 1,000 books and I still feel silly. No better than to call this living. Keep on chasing, I gotta get it. Keep on chasing, I gotta get it.
مو قهروين. محقوط محقوط يا عيال. والله لو اكلتكم يا شباب والله اسف، قسم بالله ما اشوف من الايفون.
Resurrected beast and I would have Kelly brick through a cypress tree. The snake eyes came alive in the dicey squeeze. Dropped him down to the floor, turned the mice and screamed. He tried to stomp him to death, but it just wouldn't bleed. He heard a concoct left, turned to look what he see. Cowboy shot an Indian in his face, but it stayed in one piece. The cowboy dropped down to his knees. The Indian scalped his body and turned into a beast. The forest grows and it swallows the streets. Back to hunting in the gathering of all that we eat. The sun's a distant memory. We live in darkness and sleep. And I'm walking through the garden with thee. But when I fall, it is all just a dream. I am calling up the ball. As far as the day goes, it ain't all angels and halos. Soon as the night falls, I'll be back on my angle.
يا شباب خلونا نلعب اول وندعس بعدين نوزع سكور. قسم بالله ما ينفع كذا، والله ما ينفع. ما يصلح كذا يا عيال، والله ما راح ندعس والله. ما بعد اسيطر انا علشان تدعسني الثالث. قاطع قلبكم يا قمر قسم بالله. مطلع الشيب فطيازكم، ما هو في وجيهكم فطيازكم. خلونا شيء بس شغال ولا لا؟
Playing out the game, I know I'm just the same. Desire is the flame, high on fire, and I'm tired of my ways. Open up the blind, hang it in my eyes. Windows are closed, open up the light. See a tree grow, tree grows inside. See a body rot, I'm reminded of my times. Stories I ain't told, still hidden in my mind. Watch it unfold like pleasure that I find. See a tree grow, tree grows inside. See a body rot, I'm reminded of my
كيف
times.
تفتح الفوق؟
I live in these streets, no matter where I roam. One of them trees till I make it back home. Stand for the future, still stuck between my toes. My kids and my feet, building buildings of stone. Face to the sky with a breeze through my hair. Friends that are gone, I'll find you right here. I don't look to dirt when I know you're in the air. Not another fool thinks life should be fair. God's a referee with a whistle in his mouth. He blows every time, there's a power time out. Stuck in that trap, will his tummy climbed down. Busting up my neck, first the love is in my mouth. Hip-hop in the temple of my room. Every day I build water, simple turn of rooms. Standing on the brick, they used to be your tomb. Pour it out a drop from the bottle of my booze. Used to be dark, grew into a plant. Once was an animal, now I'm just a man. Dream still intangible, heart up in my hands. This will be the life where the darkness in my head. Used to be dark, grew into a plant. Once was an animal, now I'm just a man. Dream still intangible, heart up in my hands. This will be the life where the darkness in my head.
يا ليل الزحمة. يا أخي ما في صقر نقسم عليهم.
Life is just that bright, and when the sunset shines, I've seen the graffiti rights. I'm back tonight with a sack to light. In honor of the past I write, I'm wide open with no glass of wine. Stuck in the barrel, I'll get better with time. While you measure how the pleasure declines, I'm stacking cheddar while the red just rise. With my eyes and my ears glued here on my grind, Cuddy. Creeping on the combine, sleeping till the sun's up. Telling secrets to the drum dumps. Pledge allegiance to the blood pump. Until I leak my last leader, here's my one love. And all these angels got their guns up. But no fear when my teeth and my tongue touch. I am here and I speak for the young bloods. Seen the blood and they drug all the anchors up. Set sail through the world in the name of trust. Hard work and the crux that it made it nuts. I'm about to bust on my veins full of gold dust. The 1985 California gold rush. In the spine plus the flesh that it holds up. I'm out for mines and my wolves got it sewn up. One crow, one eagle on my shoulders. And my eyes hold the light that approaches.
بنظر نوزع سكور ولا احنا داسين يا شباب والله. ما ريليت قسمت يا بث يا قمر.
The grizzly is back, the California bear rap. Been asleep in the den, now my eyes are cracked. Belly full of hunger with a diamond back. Can hear the crack of the thunder under my attack. Man in nature, trying to come up on some land and paper. Say the end is near, I still want some acres. Make the best of the time that we left to stay here. Hear the bastard that turned prince. Heading to the castle, they kneeled at my service. Told them rise up, follow on your purpose. Once stood still, I bought tickets to the circus. Better smile before you die, dummy. Mean mugging don't mean nothing. Live lovely, make money, build something. Catch snakes in my garden before they take from me. Behind the black gray clouds, the sun shines gold. You wouldn't know when the day is the color of coal, but it always shines for the always know that I always rhyme when I write my poems to remind myself of the tie that binds us all. Look into the eyes of my loving fall. Stop talking, but I hate the way I paint and draw. Still a big question mark with a name to call. So I stay on a search while the earth revolves to find a purpose for the journey, make it worth it all. More than lucky, wasn't born to money, but I've been rich since the day that my blood started pumping. More than nothing, I got a heart still bleeding, searching, walking through the streeting, looking for it all with my blood still leaking on the pages. I'm telling you the story of my days. Hey, let's just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. Just the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine.
والله عندي لاج شو بطيء.
Just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. Just the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. Going down a forest, built up a city, born out of belly, first fly city. Read a dozen books and I still feel silly. War outside and I'm at home chilling. Burned down a forest, built up a city, born out of belly, first fly city. Read a dozen books and I still feel silly. No better than to call this living. Keep on chasing, I gotta get it. Keep on chasing, I gotta get it.
اللي دبلو I stood barefoot on the cross of the church. Cold gusts of winds blow through the holes in my shirt. The city around, surrounded by one big wall, except the point where the hill tried to build, but it was just too tall. On the top of the hill, well, it grew one tree, and the cross of the church was as high as the peaks. My limbs shiver as I'm trying to breathe, and I look to the tree. All I see are the eyes of a beast, and no wings for me to hide and be weak. And I know that he's trying to eat, but I can't go to sleep. I see where I stand now, a wind flows by, the reeds of demons will dance now. The beast got wings though, flies across the sky like the devil's own angel. Then he landed from the air, standing here right in front of me. Blood, sweat, and tears drip from his wings ugly. Couldn't believe it for the life of me. A face of broken mirrors that showed all different sides of me. Silently, my heart left quietly. I woke up with a resurrected peace, and I lit up a Kelly brick grew a cypress tree. The snake eyes came alive in the dicey squeeze. Dropped him down to the floor, turned him ice and screamed. He tried to stomp him to death, but it just wouldn't bleed. He heard a gun cock left. turn to look what he see. Cowboy shot an Indian in his face, but it stayed in one piece. The cowboy dropped down to his knees. The Indian scalped his body and turned into a beast. The forest grows and it swallows the streets.
أنا اللي هينك يا حمار، مو أنت يا غبي. باخذ قصب. العب وباخذ قصب. ايوه العب وباخذ قصب.
As far as the day goes, it ain't all angels and halos. Soon as the night falls, I'll be back on my angle. One black crow lands on the dining room table, beckons the last souls to do the dance of the fatal. Here's a chant for the fable, stamped on the hands that made you. This would happen to the dream that came. You be the son to the one who named you. Don't be dumb like no one raised you. It took the world just to pull the baby out the girl, and all the smoke has the same old swirl. You were born in the same old curl. Don't be playing like the story in pearls. It's glory, of course. Lose the worry and you bury the corpse. And by the end, I'll be blurry and hoarse. Till then, I am purely a force in a lab with a bag and a torch. The nights are far, but the days are heat. Find myself all alone in the zone. Wolf makes a beat and let the black ink bleed while I write my piece. And there's story to be told in the eyes of me. Too tired to sleep. I set fire to every liar I see. Crawling a wire, couldn't find him a tree. All he found was a pile of weed. Got high and decided to eat. Know I always got some fire with me. Still a child in the wild with beasts. Who made a style from the Nile and grief. From freestyles till he's silent in peace. Spin the spiral back to find a release. Know I smile now, I'm crying to sleep. Nowadays I'm just trying to breathe. In a world where the scoundrel's king and the kids are just a mouth to feed. It's past hope, we need alchemy. You remain strong, there's no day that the faith is gone. There's no way I will break it all. Shit, I may be wrong, but either way I'm just facing on. Became a king as I made my songs. Came from God, but the devil's is the same as all. The only difference is the ways we fall. Read the book and then I made the call, and I ain't really have to thank it all. Thoughts think and I blazed and coughed. Now I pray to cross the river waist high, ready to fall. But my brother's there to grab on my arm. I had a dream, I never met him at all. Woke up staring at the mirror on the wall. So clear what I saw was a mirror, he was here all along. Shed a tear for the fear that was gone. And said I'm here, now you hearing the song. I was warmed by the breeze, water around my bones. First heartbeat became the 808 tone. Speech came later, gets later as I grow. Peace to the haters and a prayer for my foes. Love to my family and my family keeps growing. Death to the vanity, cause damn it we go. Turned into rust and then into dust. Carved in ebony with an elephant tusk. All the world's a stage, see the roles and names. Everyone's a child, playing out the game. I know I'm just the same, desire is the flame. High on fire and I'm tired of my ways. Open up the blinds, hang it in my
أنا شو البث شغال ولا لا؟
open up to life, see a tree grow. Now I live in these streets, no matter where I roam. the sky with a breeze through my hair. Friends that are gone, I'll find you right here. I don't look to turn when I know you're in the air.
مبسوط حصلوا والله مبسوط متشقق.
God's a referee with a whistle in his mouth. He blows every time there's a fella time out. Stuck in that trap, will his time find out. Busting up my yak, busting out this in my mouth. Down hip hop in the temple of my room. Every day I build water, simple turn the room. Standing on the bridge, they used to be your tomb. Pouring out a drop from the bottle of my booze. Used to be dark, grew into a plant. Once was an animal, now I'm just a man. Dream still intangible, heart up in my hands. This will be the life for the darkness in my head. Used to be dark, grew into a plant. Once was an animal, now I'm just a man. Dream still intangible, heart up in my hands. This will be the life for the darkness in my head. Skin the color of bark, clothes smelling like trees, digging my earth from my roots and weeds. My truth bleeds right back in the arm. No scar, but I left my mark. My friend got clean, then no deed. Life is just that dark. Clothes smelling like trees, digging my earth from my roots and weeds. My truth bleeds right back in the arm. No scar, but I left my mark. My friend got clean, then no deed. Life is just that dark. But life is just that bright, and when the sunset shines, I've seen the graffiti writes. I'm back tonight with a sack to light. In honor of the past I write, I'm wide open with no glass of wine. Stuck in the barrel, I'll get better with time. While you measure how the pleasure declines, I'm stacking cheddar while the red just rise. With my eyes and my ears glued here on my grind, cutty. Creeping on the combine, I'm sleeping till the sun's up. Tell the secrets to the drum dumps. Pledge allegiance to the blood pump. Till I leak my last leader, here's my one love. And all these angels got their guns up, but no fear when my teeth and my tongue touch. I am here and I speak for the young bloods. Seen the blood and they drug all the anchors up. Set sail through the world in the name of trust. Hard work and the crux that it made it nuts. I'm about to bust on my veins full of gold dust. The 1985 California gold rush. In the spine plus the flesh that it holds up. I'm out for mines and my wolves got it sewn up. One crow, one eagle on my shoulders. And my eyes hold the light that approaches.
آسف يا حسين معلش.
The grizzly is back, the California bear of rap. Been asleep in the den, now my eyes are cracked. Belly full of hunger with a diamond back. Can hear the crack of the thunder under my attack. Man in nature, trying to come up on some land and paper. Say the end is near, I still want some anchors. Make the best of the time that we left to stay here. Hear the bastard that turned prince. Heading to the castle, they kneeled at my service. Told him rise up, follow on your purpose. Once stood still, I bought tickets to the circus. Better smile before you die, dummy. Mean mugging don't mean nothing. Live lovely, make money, build something. Catch the snakes in my garden before they take from it. Behind the black gray clouds, the sun shines gold. You wouldn't know when the day is the color of cold, but it always shines for the always know that I always rhyme when I write my poems to remind myself of the tide that binds us all. Look into the eyes of my love and fall. Stop talking, but I hate the way I paint and draw. Still a big question mark with a name to call. So I stay on a search while the earth revolves to find a purpose for the journey, make it worth it all. More than lucky wasn't born to money, but I've been rich since the day that my blood started pumping. More than nothing, I got a heart heart still bleeding, searching, walking through the streeting, looking for it all with my blood still leaking on the pages. I'm telling you the story of my days. Hey, let's just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. That's the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. Let's just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. That's the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine.
Going down a forest, built up a city, born out of belly, cursed by a city, read 1,000 books and I still feel silly. War outside and I'm at home chilling. Burned down a forest, built up a city, born out of belly, cursed by a city, read 1,000 books and I still feel silly. No better than to call this living. Keep on chasing, I gotta get it. Keep on chasing, I gotta get it.
There I stood barefoot on the cross of the church. Cold gusts of winds blow through the holes in my shirt. The city around, surrounded by one big wall, except the point where the hill tried to build, but it was just too tall. On the top of the hill, well, there grew one tree, and the cross of the church was as high as the peaks. My limbs shiver as I'm trying to breathe, and I look to the tree. All I see are the eyes of a beast, and no wings for me to hide and be weak. And I know that he's trying to eat, but I can't go to sleep. I see where I'll stand now, where wind floats by, the reeds or demons will dance now. The beast got wings though, flies across the sky like the devil's own angel. Then he landed from the air, standing here right in front of me. Blood, sweat, and tears drip from his wings ugly. Couldn't believe it for the life of me. A face of broken mirrors that showed all different sides of me. Silently, my heart left quietly. I woke up with a resurrected peace, and I lit up a Kelly brick through a cypress tree. The snake eyes came alive in the dice.
نلعب في الفايروس.
Down to the floor, turned the mice and screamed. He tried to stomp him to death, but it just wouldn't bleed. He heard a contact left. Turned to look what he see. Cowboy shot an Indian in his face, but it stayed in one piece. The cowboy dropped down to his knees. The Indian scalped his body and turned into a beast. The forest grows and it swallows the streets. We're back to hunting and the gathering of all that we eat. The sun's a distant memory. We live in darkness and sleep. And I'm walking through the garden with thee. But when I fall, it is all just a dream. I am calling up the road.
As far as the day goes, it ain't all angels and halos. Soon as the night falls, I'll be back on my angle. One black crow lands on the dining room table, beckons the last souls to do the dance of the fatal.
Here's a chant for the faithful, stamped on the hands that made you. This would happen to the dream that came. Should be the son to the one who named you. Don't be dumb like no one raised you. It took the world just to pull the baby out the girl, and all the smoke has the same old swirl. You were born in the same old curl. Don't be playing like the story in pearls. It's glory, of course. Lose the worry and you bury the corpse. And by the end, I'll be blurry as horse. Till then, I am purely a force in a lab with a bag and a torch. The nights are far, but the days are heat. Find myself all alone in the zone where wolf makes a beat, and let the black ink bleed while I write my piece. And there's story to be told in the eyes of me. Too tired to sleep. I set fire to every liar I see. Crawling a wire, couldn't find him a tree. All he found was a pile of weed. Got high and decided to eat. No, I always got some fire with me. Still a child in the wild with beasts. Made a style from the Nile and grief. And freestyles till he's silent in peace. Spin the spiral back to find a release. No, I smile now, I'm crying to sleep. Nowadays I'm just trying to breathe. In a world where the scoundrel's king and the kids are just a mouth to feed. It's past hope, we need alchemy. If you remain strong, there's no day that the faith is gone. There's no way
ما في
I will
فارس
break it
القوي.
all. Shit, I may be wrong, but either way I'm just pasting on. Became a king as I made my songs. Came from God, but the devil's just the same as all. The only difference is the ways we fall. Read the book and then I made the call, and I ain't really have to thank it all. Thoughts sank and I blazed and coughed. Now I pray to cross the river waist high, ready to fall. But my brother's there to grab on my arm. I had a dream, I never met him at all. Woke up staring at the mirror on the wall. So clear what I saw was a mirror, he was here all along. Shed a tear for the fear that was gone. And said I'm here, now you hearing the song.
العبوا يا شباب، العبوا مع بعض. دوم عندك تيم العب معه.
I was born by the beach, water around my bones. First heartbeat became the 808 tone. Speech came later, gets later as I grow. Peace to the haters and a prayer for my foes. Love to my family and my family keeps growing. Death to the vanity, cause damn it we go. Turned into rust and then into dust. Carved in ebony with an elephant tusk. All the world's a stage, see the roles and names. Everyone's a child, playing out the game. I know I'm just the same, desire is the flame. High on fire and I'm tired of my ways. Open up the blinds, hang it in my eyes. Windows are closed, open up to life. See a tree grow, tree grows in size. See your body rot, I'm reminded of my time. Stories I ain't told, still hidden in my mind. Watch it unfold like treasure that I find. See a tree grow, tree grows in size. See your body rot, I'm reminded of my time. I live in these streets, no matter where I roam. Wander down the streets till I make it back home. Sand from the beach still stuck between my toes. My hands and my feet building buildings of stone. Face to the sky with a breeze through my hair. Friends that are gone, I'll find you right here. I don't look to dirt when I know you're in the air. Not another fool thinks life should be fair. God's a referee with a whistle in his mouth. He blows every time there's a foul time out. Stuck in that trap, will his tummy climb down.
قال فيروسات.
My yak first the time is in my mouth. Found hip hop in the temple of my room. Every day I build water symbols turn the rooms. Standing on the brick that used to be your tomb. Pouring out a drop from the bottle of my booze. Used to be dark, grew into a flame.
لا حول الله، قسم بالله وش هاللعب يا شباب. أحلى ذا. نعم الله والدم الشاغل يا شيخ. وش البث؟
My truth bleeds right back in the arm. No scar, but I left my mark. My friend got clean, then no deed. Life is just that dark. But life is just that bright. That when the sunset shines, I've seen the graffiti rights. I'm back tonight with a sack to light. In honor of the past I write. I'm wide open with no glass of wine. Stuck in the barrel, I'll get better with time. While you measure how the pleasure declines. I'm stacking cheddar while the red just rise. With my eyes and my ears glued here on my grind, cutty. Creeping on the come up. Sleeping till the sun's up. Tell the secrets to the drum dumps. Pledge allegiance to the blood pump. Until I lick my last leader, here's my one love. And all these angels guns up. But no fear with my teeth and my tongue touch. I am here and I speak for the young bloods. Seen the blood and they drug all the anchors up. Set sail through the world in the name of trust. Hard work and the crux that it made. I'm about to bust on my veins full of gold dust. The 1985 California gold rush. In the spine plus the flesh that it holds up. I'm out for mines and my wolves got us sewn up. One crow, one eagle on my shoulders. And my eyes hold the light that approaches.
استغفر الله العظيم.
The grizzly is back, the California bear of rap. Been asleep in the den, now my eyes are cracked. Belly full of hunger with a diamond back. Can hear the crack of the thunder under my attack. Man in nature, trying to come up on some land and paper. Say the end is near, I still want some makers. Make the best of the time that we left to stay here. Hear the bastard that turned prince. Heading to the castle, they kneeled at my service. Told him rise up, follow on your purpose. Once stood still, I bought tickets to the circus. Better smile before you die, dummy. Mean mugging don't mean nothing. Live lovely, make money, build something. Catch snakes in my garden before they take from it.
Behind the black gray clouds, the sun shines gold. You wouldn't know when the day is the color of coal, but it always shines for the always know that I always rhyme when I write my poems to remind myself of the tide that binds us all. Look into the eyes of my loving fall. Stop talking what I hate, the way I paint and draw. Still a big question mark with a name to call. So I stay on a search while the earth revolves to find a purpose for the journey, make it worth it all. More than lucky, wasn't born to money, but I've been rich since the day that my blood started pumping. More than nothing, I got a heart still bleeding. Searching, walking through the streeting, looking for it all with my blood still leaking on the pages. I'm telling you the story of my days. Hey, let's just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. That's the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. Let's just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine. That's the best, just ride. I ain't gonna rest until I get mine.
Burned down a forest, built up a city. Born out of belly, cursed by a titty. Read 1,000 books and I still feel silly. War outside and I'm at home chilling. Burned down a forest, built up a city. Born out of belly, cursed by a titty. Read 1,000 books and I still feel silly. Know no better than to call this living. Keep on chasing the high, gotta get it. Keep on chasing the high, gotta get it.
stood barefoot on the cross of the church. Cold gusts of winds blow through the holes in my shirt. The city around, surrounded by one big wall, except the point where the hill tried to build, but it was just too tall. On the top of the hill, well, there grew one tree, and the cross of the church was as high as the peaks. My limbs shiver as I'm trying to breathe, and I look to the tree. All I see are the eyes of a beast, and no wings for me to hide and be weak. And I know that he's trying to eat, but I can't go to sleep. I see where I'll stand now, where wind flows by, the reeds or demons will dance now. The beast got wings though, flies across the sky like the devil's own angel. Then he landed from the air, standing here right in front of me. Blood, sweat, and tears drip from his wings ugly. Couldn't believe it for the life of me. A face of broken mirrors that showed all different sides of me. Silently, my heart left quietly. I woke up with a resurrected peace, and I with a Kelly brick grew a cypress tree. The snake eyes came alive in the dicey squeeze. Dropped him down to the floor, turned him ice and screamed. He tried to stomp him to death, but it just wouldn't bleed. He heard a gun cock left. Turn to look what he see. Cowboy shot an Indian in his face, but it stayed in one piece. The cowboy dropped down to his knees. The Indian scalped his body and turned into a beast. The forest grows and it swallows the streets. We're back to hunting and the gathering of all that we eat. The sun's a distant memory. We live in darkness and sleep. And I'm walking through the garden with thee. But when I fall, it is all